The midterm adjustment budget of 1.7 billion rand has been allocated where the pressure is most severe. 95% of this budget comes from national government, with the rest from provincial revenue. The provincial government says despite a well-expanding economy and an increase in employment, among others, funds do not keep up with its expanding population. National government granted over 1.1 billion rand for infrastructure spending. This was requested during the previous fiscal year. Of this, 947 million rand is allocated to disaster-related infrastructure build and over 250 million rand to the Rapid Schools program. However, more has to be done with less.
The provincial envelope for provinces have not increased. What that means is essentially the pie that is being given from national government for all provinces are remaining the same. And because it is remaining the same, those budget cuts from national are essentially pushed down onto provinces. We are thus seeing in our frontline services departments, in health, in education, in social development, are we going to be able to budget for growth in the future? And that is why the national pie must increase, because even if we are able to deal with in-year fiscal risks, this is not making provision for growth.
From its own purse, the province allocated 250 million rands towards the Department of Education for compensation of educators. A further 600 million rand has been made available to deal with immediate teaching post and learner enrollment pressures. Bartman says departments like health and education are working non-stop to find ways to make the numbers work.
With the in-year fiscal risk specifically, we have allocated extra financing for health. We've allocated extra financing for education to deal with the COE pressures in education specifically, but also to deal with the impact of medical inflation within health. We've also had to take our equitable share within our infrastructure components, which we've given to the respective departments, and un-earmark it. And this is essentially a fancy finance term to say that maybe we might have to delay some items in order to deal with in-year fiscal risk so that you have a bit more maneuverability within your program.
The official opposition in the province, the ANC, says while it welcomes certain aspects of the adjustment budget, there are areas of concern. It says, among others, economic growth cannot happen without confronting socio-economic conditions of communities. According to the party spokesperson for economic development, extortion crime, among others, needs greater attention.
How you are dealing specifically with the intervention of the extortion, in the province, because the big area in as far as the informal economy, because the informal economy, is important, particularly to those poor communities, because people are trying to actually, fend for themselves. They're trying to start businesses, they're trying to go to work, but the crime-ridden environment is not necessarily helping. So all we are saying is that when you have adjustment in as far as the safety concerns are related, we want to see the money going towards those.
Bartman says difficult decisions lie ahead for all departments and urges national government to increase the equitable share of all provinces with haste. Mariska Botha, SABC News, Cape Town.